Hello. Today we are going to understand sonnet number 29, which is Shakespeare's sonnet. The title of the sonnet is When in Disgrace with Fortune and Man's Eyes. Now, there is no title of this sonnet, so the first line of this sonnet is taken as the title, right? Now, you will ask me what is sonnet. So sonnet is a 14 line poem, right? So you can see on the screen that the poem is composed of 14 lines, right? So there are stanzas, and these stanzas are counting to number 14. And this is a Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespeare has written almost 154 sonnets, and this is one of them, right? So, what is the overall idea of this sonnet? So, in this sonnet, there is a speaker who is in some kind of depressed state, who is unhappy in his life, and he feels negativity from everyone around him. But in the last six lines, his focus suddenly changes. Why his focus changes? Because he is reminded of someone or a loved one or a friend whose thought drives away all his negative thoughts. And so the poem begins with a negative note but ends in the positive note, right? So let us read the first four lines first. The sonnet begins: When in disgrace with fortune and man's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate. The first four lines talk about how misfortunate or how in disappointment the speaker is. He is talking about his disgrace with fortune, which simply means that he might have fallen in some kind of financial problem, or there must be some kind of problem in his life which is causing him unhappiness, right? And he feels outcast and he is weeping. Weeping means he is crying over something, and outcast means he feels rejected or abandoned, right? So why he is feeling like this? He is feeling like this because even the heaven is not listening to his bootless cries, because he feels that the heaven has become deaf, right? The third line says, trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries. So he is crying, he is calling to heaven, he is calling to God, but even God is not answering his prayers. So he is cursing his own fate. In the next two, three lines, he is desiring the wealth of other people. Right? Let us read the lines first. Wishing me like to one more reach in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy, contented least. He is talking about other people who are happy in their life, right? Now, who are these other people? These are the people who are more talented. Desiring this man's art means the man who is more talented or more creative, more artistic than this speaker, who is he wants that man's scope. Scope means the person who has more opportunities. He wants the friends possessed means the person who has more friends than the speaker, right? So he is feeling least contented. Matlab, he is not happy with his own life. Content means satisfied. So he is not satisfied with his own life. But suddenly, in the last six lines, so these are the first nine lines, right? Now, in the last six lines, which begins with yet, there is a change in the thought of the poem, change in the thought of the speaker. What he says, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. What happens? He suddenly remembers someone, right? Happily I think on thee. He is thinking of someone. This thee is someone or a friend or a loved one about whom he is thinking happily. Happily means happily. right? And then my state, his own state of mind, which was initially uh, sad, suddenly changes. What way does his state change? His state changes like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth. Lark means bird. So the way the bird sings and flies early in the morning, the same way his sad state of mind changes suddenly when he thinks of this sweet love or this person, right? The memory of this person brings happiness to him, and so he is contented now. So in the initial lines we saw that the speaker was disappointed with his own state, he was disappointed with whatever he had got, he was disappointed with his outcast state, he felt that he was misfortunate. But now, with the memory of this person, he feels that he is wealthy. Why he is wealthy? So in the last two lines in the couplet he says, "For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings." The memory of this person brings to him happiness, and that happiness is the wealth for him, and that is why he will never change this wealth of the person's love, person's friendship, person's care, even with the state of king. Even if someone offers him to be a king, he will never change this state with anyone. So in the last six lines and in the couplet we see that the speaker's mood is suddenly changed. And why his mood is changed? Because he thinks about someone or the person who is there in his life, and he is reminded that the real wealth is the people in my life who care for me. So the fortune does not mean financial fortune, but the fortune also means the people we love and care, the people who love us and care for us. So this is the overall idea of the poem. So it begins in the sad note but ends with the positive note, right? So I hope you will read it over on your own. Thank you so much.